Hey everyone, good day to you. We'll just give folks a couple minutes to join us. Thank you for joining. Happy Saturday as we prepare to shift into spring. That's what we're all about. So I invite you just to allow yourself just to center, just to be in this moment. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Breath in, breath out. So we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and so welcome on the two channels. If you're on Facebook, you're on the Unicorn Life School page. So I am Angel Michael Rojas. I'm the creator, the founder of Unicorn Life School. If you're on the YouTube page, you are on the Angel Michael page. And however you found us, however you're joining us, it's the perfect time. It's a perfect opportunity. Everything happens in divine timing. Everything happens when it's to happen. And we just allow that to be one of our mantras in life. Truly just allow ourselves just to be. So just taking this moment, just allowing ourselves to be in this breath. It's in this breath is where life is occurring. Everything else is the past. Everything else is the future. Really, life is occurring in this breath. You might even feel yourself at a point where on the exhale, you just want to have a nice sigh and just let that out. Oh. And if that feels foreign to you, if that feels uncomfortable for you, challenge yourself. It's that there is potentially some block occurring within the chest, within the throat, where you're holding yourself from simply being. So just let yourself go. And use your breath to do this. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. You might even find yourself doing a little bit more than just a sigh. It could be an om or an om. And so that's inhaling, exhaling. You'll notice that you'll start feeling different, right? You will feel lighter. You'll literally feel lighter. You'll feel that this breath moving through you. You're oxygenating the blood. You'll feel potentially start to feel a tingling in the head. right? Because we're oxygenating the brain. And so breath work is vital, it's important. We breathe every day, all day long, 24/7, but yet many of us are not placing our attention and our awareness of what the breath is and the importance of it and how it serves us. So this is what we get to do, right? Really just using the breath to center, to move in this place of peace. Okay, so welcome, welcome, welcome. About an hour ago, there was a podcast that was posted on Anchor and on Spotify, is where you can see it. It is associated with Unicorn Life School. It's one of the expressions of Unicorn Life School. The title of the show is Living Your Practice. And in that, I talked a little bit about what was occurring in the past 2 weeks, right? Because in the past 2 weeks, we've experienced this full moon, and what this full moon represented to us, what it expressed to us, what it provided to us, right? And that's really key, that we can be in the awareness of, that things are happening on purpose with intention. And so this full moon, we were feeling it individually and we are feeling it collectively. We're feeling it in society, right? We can see how things are coming to a close, how things are, where there is areas of resistance. Um, and I was having a conversation about this past week, and like, how is it that drag queens are like the forefront of the news? It's like, why? Really, why? It's how is it that is being an issue? Truly, um, it's there's this rehashing of old stuff, of where there's these attachments to these old ways of being that are attempting to keep us stuck in some way of believing, some way of thinking. And so that's happening. We can see that happening at the collective level, right, at societal level. And then we see that happening within each of us, of how each of us is experiencing our own struggles, our own inner struggles. And that's what this full moon presented to us. It literally was bringing up things that are there for us to address. And the reason that's so important is because as we step into spring, it is vital that we are being present and doing what needs to be done, because we don't want to be carrying old energy, old beliefs, old imprints into this new era. And so this is what the full moon provided to us. It's literally shedding light on, okay, here's where you get to do your work. And each of us have our work to do, every one of us, right? And so the work is occurring within this lifetime. So what has been our life journey from place of birth to where we are today? What's a road that we have traveled between that? And life isn't a linear road, as we know. It's circles, zigzags, everything else. But we had this point, we have this point, and everything that's occurred within it has been the life. And those things that have occurred within life, some things we're aware of, some things we're not aware of. How are those influencing and impacting us today? Right? The life that we're living today. How is it that we are seeing ourselves repeating things, that we're seeing ourselves, having some challenges of moving beyond certain ways of living? And it's because of that. And so it's because of the life journey. So that's one way, right? So there's that's occurring. And that's part of our inner work to be done. The other part of our inner work is the imprints. And so the imprints are the beliefs, the conditioning, the programming that we have inherited, right, from this lifetime of those around us. So there's that level of work. Some of us have a perspective that we are a soul and that this soul is an ever, it transcends, right? So that there is no beginning, there is no end to life, that it simply moves into different stages and different states. And with that, that leads us into knowing that there's this thing that's called past lives. And so, how are we addressing that level of the work that's to be done as well? So there's there is this journey, right? That's number one. There is number two, the past lives. There are the ancestral lineage, because we are our ancestors. And so there's that level of work to be done. And if we're not mindful with this is why we are on this linear journey in this lifetime, and we're wondering why these things could continue. And it's because this work hasn't been done. So again, this is what this full moon really brought up, and for all of us, right? For all of us, every one of us, myself included, right? I'm in human form, I'm no different. And it brought up things that we're aware of and things that we aren't aware of. And that's part of what this work is as well, right? Because there's so much that is at the subconscious, that's below the surface, and that's the work that's to be done, because in our daily life, that's where we're operating from the subconscious. Okay, so there's that. And so I chat a little bit about that in the podcast. It's only like 7-8 minutes, so there's that there for you to listen to. And so that was aiding to set the stage for today and for tomorrow, because on Monday we shift into spring, on Tuesday we have a new moon, and this life journey continues, right? It's a beautiful thing, and it is an amazing thing when we are an active participant, when we have levels of awareness where we are engaged in our life and we are being accountable with our life. It's work, right? There's there's that phrase of ignorance is bliss, and that's where some folks are. Some folks are choosing to be mindful and to practice awareness and to cultivate and cobble together ways of being aware in life, and that's personally my preference, because the opportunities that are then provided to us by us being present, by us addressing what needs to be addressed. Okay, so just a little bit of that to help set the stage. I chuckle all the time because this is an ongoing process, right? This is unfolding for every day that we are here, that we are breathing, that we are in this dimension, that we are alive in this life. Right? It's unfolding every day. Even in the day that all of us will have, that is our transition date, there will be some unfolding that will be occurring. And it's beautiful. And it's work for us to be engaged at that level. And here's what I'll offer you. If we're not engaged at that level, this is why we then have various levels of pain and discomfort, why we feel stuck, why there's pain, physical pain, emotional pain, financial pain, right? These are all pains, and they're pains because of where we are in our awareness and our understanding. Okay. So with all that said, this weekend, today and tomorrow, is about what are we doing to shift into spring? How are we supporting ourselves as we shift into spring? And so I'm sharing with you some of the things that I use personally and that I've used for years and that they work for me. So you can take it for what it is. I'm simply sharing what has worked for me and continues to work for me. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today is a calendar, a 12-month calendar. And actually, before I jump into that, let me start with let me back up a little bit. So we have January 1st, and what January 1st is representing is the Gregorian calendar, right? It's just like time, it's just like language. It's something that we have agreed on. It's just like currency. There are some agreements that we have made, and therefore these agreements are then what provide us the illusion of this structure in this dream of reality. Okay. So we had January 1st, and January 1st came around, and I did my thing, meaning on the 1st of January, I chose to be actively engaged in business, where, because to me, it's like, okay, we're in this new calendar year. Let me be open and available to receive abundance of prosperity in the infinite forms that it is. And so I worked on January 1st, not the whole day, literally 2 hours. But it's because I was opening the doors and setting that intention. Okay. And I've been active in activities and projects since then, but it's now with spring that I really set the tone for, okay, here's the new year, because we're shifting into spring. So there's, again, this is different from the conditionings, the imprints that we have, those of us in the West, right? And this isn't critiquing anything. This is just sharing different observations, different perspective points. Okay, let's want to be clear on that, right? That's all this is. And so this is about learning how to utilize what's available to us, utilize what is the infinite of this omniverse that we are part of. Because most of us live in towns, we live in homes, we live in cities, and that becomes our orientation to life. And the only other viewpoints that we have on it is what we hear on the radio, what we hear on the news, what we read, what we, chat about with others. But there's so much more than that, right? There's so much more. And so this is, again, allowing ourselves to continue to expand, literally continue the expansion of us. Okay, so now coming into spring, one of the things that I use is a 12-month calendar. And, and so again, because of me using spring as my orientation, my starting point, right? I'm just backing up a little bit because I want to share this with you. So what I just every year I just buy a calendar off of Amazon, right? I'm very much a proponent of working with local, within my local community, right? That there's no one local that produces, creates 12-month calendars. So I just went off of Amazon and bought one, and I do this every year. $7, $8, right? That's the investment in it. And so then what I do is I just get it and just tape it to a cardboard, right? So a poster board. And so it's a 12-month calendar. And how I utilize this is I put in dates, and dates that are important to me, dates that have meaning. Again, out of sight, out of mind is a huge thing for us. If things aren't present, if things aren't in awareness, we forget about things. And so this is a visual representation to support me with what's going on in each month, right? And so I will, today or tomorrow, I'll be doing mine. And if I actually complete it today, I'll share this with you tomorrow. And here's the kind of information that goes on it for me. Okay. The things that are important to me within my life. So being people's born dates, people's transition dates, the equinox, the solstice. Because again, I'm operating in this level of awareness where there's much more occurring than what's going on in Michael's little life, in Michael's perception of life, right? There's a whole lot more that's going on. And so this is a way for me to be aware of that. I'm very much in tune and utilize the lunar cycles. So on this will be the new moons, because that's where I place my emphasis, on the new moons, not the full moons. And on the Anchor platform, you'll see that there's podcasts there, and there's a podcast there that talks about the new moon and why I have an orientation with the new moon. Okay, so those kind of things will go on here. The other kind, so I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, small business owners, and so there's folks that work for someone else, folks that work for themselves, folks that work for some other business. A lot of times you don't have a lot of choice in when you get to take time off, right? You get to take time off when it's around these things that are called holidays. When you have your 2 weeks that are allocated to you, and you can take your time then. For those of us that are entrepreneurs, small business owners, we are working literally every day, right? And this is why many folks won't do their own business. And I'm just being very direct, right? Folks won't do their own business because it's work. It's very rewarding, and you can get to the point where you can choose to get to the point of working literally 2 hours a day remotely from wherever you want to be, right? Depending on the kinds of business that you are in, right? But for us, it's a little bit different in that we're on the clock. But then it's also important, and I highly encourage anyone, but this is why I identified those that work for someone versus those of us that work for ourselves, right? It's highly important that on your calendar that you can identify dates of, I'm taking a break. I am going to work on project A, B, and C, January, February, March, and I'm going to go nonstop. And then come April, I'm going to take off 4 days. And so then if that's my in their vacation. And here's the thing, I'm not caught up with where I'm going on vacation, how I'm going to accomplish vacation, but I'm just saying, because I'm doing what I need to do, I then get to take time for me. So I'm setting an intention, I'm setting purpose. I'm manifesting something into realization. So this is a really important thing that I share with entrepreneurs and small business owners, right? Of how we're crafting time for us, right? And it doesn't matter if you want to run a marathon, and if you want to run a marathon on October 30th, then October 30th goes on the calendar, and you're looking at, okay, here's the time that I have in preparation for that marathon. What am I doing in preparation for that? So see, this can work in a multitude of ways. But I'm a big proponent of using a 12-month calendar. So I'm sharing this with you because it's a tool that you can utilize, right? If you are, it doesn't matter what it is. It literally doesn't matter what it is. If you're looking to buy a new car, if you're looking for a new job, right? Have set an intention and put a date and work to that date. Right? While being sensitive to everything that's occurring within life. Right? So this is another way of tracking that. Again, out of sight, out of mind. So once this is filled out, so I'm sitting, my computer's, I'm looking at my computer, and once this is filled out, I have my version of to-dos to my left that are pinned up on the wall. And then this will go on the ground standing up right below it, just like this, so that when I'm sitting here every day, I see it. It's in my awareness. I know that this is something that is to be done. Where is my focus? Where is my attention? Wherever is our attention, wherever is our energy, that is what we are manifesting. That is what we are experiencing. So choose what you are going to experience. Choose what you're going to live, how you're going to live. So that's one of the tools that I use. Those that work with me privately, my private clients who I work, because I provide coaching for those that don't know. I provide executive coaching and then life coaching. And so those that fit into that umbrella, right? They know that we create accountability items, and we create them every week because they work with me weekly. And so it's like, what am I working on today? Right? Where's my attention? And so we create the accountability items, and then we create daily to-do list. And again, these are then some information that's available and present in front of me. So with me, my accountability items, aka, and my accountability items are also and often end up being my to-dos, right? I have a separate board that is literally on the nightstand just adjacent to my bed. And so when I get up in the morning and after I finish with my gratitude, so this is something else I'm really key on, I highly suggest and encourage people to do. If you don't have a gratitude practice, establish a gratitude practice. If you don't have an affirmation practice, establish an affirmation practice. If you don't have a meditation practice, establish a meditation practice. All of these things don't need to look a certain way. They can be whatever works for you, right? For example, meditation. Many folks think that meditation is, oh gosh, I got to sit down on a cushion. Oh gosh, I got to lay down. Meditation is, I'm washing dishes. Meditation is, I'm out on a walk. Meditation is, I'm breathing. Meditation is, I'm planting plants. Meditation is, I'm playing the bowls, I'm playing the drums, right? So free yourself and allow it to unfold and to be whatever works for you. But cultivate these kinds of practices. They will serve you very well. Okay. And the reason I'm sharing that is because this is enabling you to have a good, strong foundation, because you need to have a good foundation in order to be aware within your life and to live in that kind of fashion. Okay. So there's the 12-month calendar. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about vision boards, and we'll spend some more time on how to address, the shifts that occur within us. Everything that I shared with you about practices, those are all ways to support you with the shifts that are that you're ready to experience within life. Change comes about in our life only when we are ready. Free will. Free will is a wonderful thing. However, how are we engaged in it? Right? How are we utilizing free will? It's a beautiful thing. It can also be our downfall. It's easy to go, oh, I can put that off and do that tomorrow. Oh, I don't need to do that today. Oh, it's cold out today. Oh, it's too hot today. Oh gosh, I'd have to go and put gas in the car, and that place is on the other side of town. Oh gosh, it's just a phone call. I can make that phone call tomorrow. That's all free will. But those are all forms of self sabotage, right? Which then goes back to where we started the conversation of our imprints, of our limiting beliefs, of the ways that we sabotage ourselves. Okay. So again, as we shift into spring, embrace it. Be excited about it. I'm really happy. After I finish here, I'm going outside. I don't know how warm it is, but I'll adjust my clothing to however I need to because the sun's out. And so I will be outside and enjoying that. And I'll be excited about it. Right? Allow yourself to be in that playfulness as well. Right? Something else that's really important. Um, allow your inner child to be present, to be an active component of you. These are all ways, these are I'm sharing with you just different ways of how you can be at peace, how you can thrive, how you can be happy, how you can have love within your life. Because again, you have to love yourself first. And that's a really hard one for us, by the way, folks. but again, it's part of the imprinting and the conditioning and the beliefs. Learn how to be your cheerleader. Really, really important. Okay, so we're doing that tomorrow. We'll figure out what else we're going to do tomorrow. We're at 30 minutes. Time goes by so quick. Um, on Monday, we'll be back, and I didn't share that, but on Monday, we'll be online as well so that we can come together and that we can hold space and be in the awareness that we are in spring and give it its reverence and give it its acknowledgement, and so that we can shift into spring and be in gratitude for spring and be in gratitude for what winter has presented to us. Everything is all balance, right? It's the cycles of life, it's the cycles of season, and the cycles of life are also the cycles of the seasons. It mirrors it. And then Tuesday is the new moon. So one of the things I offer are new moon attunements, and those are private one-on-one support, and they're done online, and it's about 45 minutes. And so in that time, what we're doing is I'm guiding you through a guided meditation, and while you're focusing on your breath, I am working to um, help support you in moving of energy so that whatever is there that is ready to be released can be released. And it's important that we do this, right? That we are supporting ourselves in different ways. Just like with our food, it's important that we're making, that we're being mindful about food choices. Today, I was going to make myself a cup of chai, which I love chai. And then I just said, no, get your celery juice. So I made celery juice, right? Because celery juice is amazing for the body. If anyone's looking to detox the body, if anyone's looking to overcome some kind of health issues, consider juicing. Celery juice is amazing. If you celery juice 30 days, 30 consecutive days, start your day with celery juice, by the way, you'll notice a difference. You will see um, a transformation that occurs within the body. Okay. So again, it's how we're tending to ourselves, how we're loving ourselves. All right, everyone. Yeah, it's. I'm excited. I'm excited about spring. I'm excited to be out in the sun, to play, to enjoy the weather. Um, to go to the park. Go and swing on a swing. Go and fly a kite. Right? Those kind of things. It's like there's no reason for us to stop doing those things. Just because we're not 10, that doesn't mean that we can't do it, that we can't enjoy it. Again, enjoy the simplicity of life, because it's in that simplicity that you really start to understand what is life, and you get to see the beauty of it versus being in this conditioned mindset, right? And that's those of us that are choosing, that's what we're doing, right? We're choosing to get out of those conditioned mindsets. Okay, everyone, I'm ending this and sending each and every one of you love and light. Thank you again. And whenever you're seeing this in the now moment, by the way, right? Really, really important. Okay, everyone, blessings.